the thing about being different colors is like lighting will look great on one and then I'll look washed out, or it'll be too dark and then I'll look great.
It's all good. Do you think you look washed out?
No, I think I look.
You could.
I think
You could make it a little
maybe a little
darker.
better, a little darker. Okay. Today we really want to talk about relationships and how to help you guys be who you want to be and attract the people that you want to be around.
We want you to be encouraged, and we want you to know that we feel like we have some tips and insight into this, since we waited a while to meet each other and we trusted the Lord in His timing. We want to encourage you to do the same. Some things that we did before meeting each other that I think were instrumental and really helpful in preparing us for marriage is Single Life Workshop. And until we started dating and we got to know each other, we found out later that we both went through that wonderful workshop that's hosted by Nothing Hidden Ministries.
And there's the booklet.
Taking steps to take ownership of your life, who you are, how you're living, the decisions you're making is really important before you meet someone, being the person that you want to attract. Really important, and it has a big impact on who is going to want to pursue you and who's going to want to be in a relationship with you.
Having a community is really important because it's like you might have blindsides. You might think you're awesome, but you might not be in certain areas.
I think you going through Wham and being part of that for all those years was also part of your journey. And then we both did Bethel School ministry, which also is a part of, I think, our growth and journey, and really just getting healing in different areas emotionally and spiritually, and really just creating space for the Lord, time and space for the Lord to work in us, I think has been really important. We wanted to also talk about finding the one. Are you ready?
Are you ready?
So is there the one or a one person that the Lord has for you? And I don't know if we've talked about this before on our channel, but I feel that the Lord really lets us choose. However, I also believe that you can choose to wait on the Lord and to hear His voice and follow His leading in who your partner is.
I know a lot of women, they want their Prince Charming, it's like a princess, and there's all these things that we've been taught and thought, and it's like, yes, we want our fairy tale story, and I mean, like as a man too, it's like you want your princess.
You do?
That's beautiful and everything, but in life sometimes it's different than expected. Sometimes things don't work out the way that you perceive them to, and the Lord is really good at fulfilling things, but they might look different than what you're expecting. But I'm just saying, like, I don't want you guys to be like have this expectation so high that it's like you are disappointed or settling.
I mean, like we create this like fairy tale of what we think it's gonna be, but life isn't a fairy tale, and things, you go through challenges and things can be difficult. Is that what you mean?
That's what I meant.
Yeah.
Thanks, babe.
That's true. That makes sense. I agree with that, what Alan is saying, that it's important. There's nothing wrong, I think, with having a list or, things you desire in a spouse, whatever.
Right, of course.
However, at the same time, you don't want that to be like the driving force behind every decision you make when it comes to who you choose to date and eventually marry. Ultimately, you want to submit all of that to the Lord. So even if you do have desires and, maybe you want to marry someone that has blue eyes, or I don't know, like you're just attracted to different types of people. You want to be with someone who's taller than you. If you're a woman, a lot of women like being with guys that are taller than them.
I want to wear those heels.
We're just giving examples of things right now that are physical, but the reality is that even in those desires and the traits, the physical traits you desire in your spouse, that you still should submit those to the Lord too, and trust that He knows those desires. He knows what's in your heart, and He is going to place you with the person. If you surrender to Him and allow Him to direct you, He will connect you with the person that I believe is far beyond really what you've dreamed of. It comes down to just waiting on the Lord and trusting Him. He's so good and so merciful. So even if you stepped out, maybe you didn't know these things, and maybe you didn't seek the Lord and who your spouse was, and maybe you're married now and you're like, well, things are a little different, you can still surrender that to the Lord, and he's so good, he can turn it around and work it out for good. Maybe there's someone out there watching even now, your marriage is on the rocks. We want to encourage you that through prayer and surrendering to the Lord, like, nothing's impossible, right, babe?
Right, and he can change things around like in a minute.
So we had mentioned this, if you saw our vlog about being your best self and starting by eating well and healthy, we had mentioned that that is a part of the journey, even becoming your best self, taking care of your physical man, your body.
Also, I mean, I'm probably talking to the boys, as girls, they probably want somebody that's in shape. So maybe it'd be good to do some push-ups once in a while, and just I could do some sit-ups, or it doesn't take a lot. Being physically healthy and fit is important. You're sitting on the couch and nothing's happening, then of course you're gonna get more lazy, more lackadaisical, and it's just a bad thing. We want to move. We want to live our life to the fullest, as we talk about. So that's just like fitness and stuff is huge. I know Drea and I we're trying.
We were really on it with P90X for a little while, for several months.
But I think if you can do
now, it's a little different.
But if you can do one thing to change today, I think that's enough. Don't be too hard on yourself. Sometimes we more mentally beat ourselves up so much more than other people do. She has way more compassion for me than I do for myself. And vice versa. Like, we tell each other, it's like, oh, you're so amazing. Well. You're doing well. And I mean, you need that encouragement. And it's like, even when she says stuff like that, it's like, do I actually believe that? I have to. Yes.
Yes. You're amazing.
I know. Thanks, babe.
It's important to be the person that you want to attract. If you want to be with someone who takes care of themselves, exercises, eats healthy, spends time with the Lord, is in the Word of God, goes to church, is involved with a healthy Christian community,
a great family
somebody
life.
Who has shared core values, like when it comes to things that you put before your eyes. We've talked about this before, what you're watching, what you're listening to. These are the things to think about. If you want to attract someone who values those qualities of life, then you need to start demonstrating them yourself. As you are living in that way, you're sowing seeds as a single person. Let's say you're getting up at a good time, you're going to bed at a good time, you're eating healthy, you're exercising. Even if you're just going for a walk, you're spending time with the Lord, you're cultivating that secret place with Him. You are building healthy community with other believers, things that are just seem so basic but are really foundational for living life to the fullest. It really all comes back to that. And then you can't help but reap a harvest, not only in your personal life and benefiting from those decisions that you're making, but also, I think, as a single person with the spouse that the Lord is going to bring to you, you're also going to be better prepared to even steward someone who is at that same caliber and at that same level, because you've been holding yourself to that level and that accountability.
You don't have as much to work on, and then you can just focus on building the relationship with them. But it's like if you were like here and they're up here, and then you have all this stuff you need to work on to they're not going to be into you as
usually.
much.
I'm sure there's some exceptions.
People that are more mature, that it's like they don't want somebody that's not healthy to treat them like a project.
They want to run. You want to be able to run together,
right.
Especially once you're married. That even helps your marriage to be that much more successful and healthy when you're running together, right. Equally yoked.
So I think that's really important. So be the person you want to attract. Hang out in the spots that you would want them to be in. So I mean, is that like church or the gym or?
Yeah, it's awesome to meet someone through mutual friends.
She said that a little better than I did. Yeah, you gotta try. You can't sit in your house and just not do anything. And I know there's a lot of like Christian mingle and just different ways to meet people, but I think I like just meeting people.
Like in real life?
In real life, regular, maybe I'm old school, that's just old-fashioned. But we met some new friends that they met online, and they're doing wonderful, and so not knocking it.
Yeah,
just
definitely.
Personal preferences.
There's so much we could share, so we will be doing more vlogs like this where we just talk about relationships, even specifically dating relationships. There's just so much that we could cover in this topic. So this is, again, just a little teaser.
Yeah, and let us know like if what you guys want us to talk about. We're here for you. Our heart really goes out for people that want to meet people, and so we like to create a space. I feel like we're going with our strengths about relationships, and our relationship is really strong and healthy. And if you can get anything from us, we'd love to give it to you.
Yeah, great.
So hopefully, let us know just in the script.
Time to wrap up.
Let us know in the comments. And we'd love to talk to you guys.
Yeah, thanks so much for joining us today, and we will see you next time.
All right, live your life to the fullest. God bless.
Bye.